And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide, the blue Terran, team was BYUN.
And spawning here at the bottom left side of the map, we have our red Terran player from Kaizi Gaming. Make some noise for time.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a interesting game, as TVT is definitely not one of my specialties, but might be one of yours.
Oh no, TBT is personally my worst matchup,
Oh,
and
great.
it's the least I know of. But I have
I know
seen
that
enough.
Ravens and their interference matrices are going to be a big player in this. That's about
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All I know is Mr. Meal. That's all I know.
Ravens, siege tanks, and Vikings. It's gonna be a day. Looks like we're already seeing a little bit of a deviation out of BYUN as he dropped his second refinery, as opposed to time only as one right now.
Yeah, looks like time is gonna go for a Rax into expansion. It looks like maybe, or he might just throw down a factory behind this and then go for the expansion. But yeah, looks like Beyond is gonna go for a more tech path opening, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well, they do both go for the orbital command and the Reaper first supply depot from BYUN. So it looks like he's going to go for something interesting as time is throwing that down and BYUN throws down his factory. So CC for time versus, excuse me, for a factory for BYUN. Those are the words I'm looking for.
Okay, looks like both players actually elected not to scout their opponent yet. We'll see if they send out their Reapers or they keep it at home. Looks like Beyond will possibly just scout around the outskirts of his base just to see if there's any proxies. You don't want to kind of get caught off guard with a proxy Rex Reaper out in the cliff area there. So just gonna check there. Looks like time is on the other side. Gonna throw down that CC finally. Throw down that bunker just in case Beyond moves out. And we shall see how the game progresses from here.
Indeed, we actually see BYUN going for a second Reaper now. Oh god, it's 3 Reaper. Okay, so BYUN's going to open with 3 Reapers. It does give him the ability to do a lot more harass, especially with the jump jet on the Reaper. And Time, on the other hand, he has 1 Reaper and a Marine in a bunker. About to have a second Marine, but that's about it right now.
Yeah.
So both players, BYUN has finally taken his CC. It's about halfway done right now. Starport's coming down for both of these guys as the 3rd Reaper for BYUN has made it out. It looks like it's going to be 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions moving across the map. Or, okay, there comes the 2nd Hellion. So 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions are going to make their way across the map. They're going to do very well against the 3 Marines and the Reaper and the 1 Hellion of Time. There's a tech lab going down on this factory here, along with a reactor. On the barracks, here we go. They do make it in as a grenade is thrown down to displace the units that may try to come down the ramp. And, well, BYUN is just going to be walking around here doing as much as he can at the CC, annoy Time a little bit. He does force and deny some mining time as 3 SCVs were forced to run into the bunker here as these 5 units came in. Siege tanks now in production for both players as Time is pulling Vikings out now.
That command center is getting a lot of tickles here from these Reapers and Hellions, but finally Time should have enough as the Siege tank is about to finish. Oh, actually trapping a little bit here with these SCVs. So, but does lose his 3. And all in all, the workers are evened out.
Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Medevac from BYUN with a siege tank and 4 Marines boosted across the map. It's just coming straight down the middle. It's going to be reinforcing these 4 units that are still here. Did lose 1 Reaper, but he did kill 3 SCVs, which was good, and he denied a lot of mining time. He's also adding on Cyclones, and now there is a Raven as well. Medevac is going to be used to ferry this stuff up the cliff, but Time in a great position to deny it with the siege tank on the high ground.
Oh, actually, we see a really quick dirt command center coming out of Time right now. So BYUN is definitely going to have to put some pressure on, or at least got a really nice contain, which it looks like he's setting up right now. He's definitely going to need a bit more than 1 tank, though, if he wants to further contain time here.
Yep, BYUN's Cyclone is just scouting out any possible weird locations that Time could drop a building in case he needs to, save it and run. Also could sneak a third base over in this location up here that BYUN just scouted. As, well, now more barracks being added on for BYUN, as well as Time Stimpack starting for both players. Time, again, a little bit ahead right now. More siege tanks still making their way out for both players, as the Viking on a patrol path denying the medevac drop as much as it possibly can.
Yeah, both players just gonna get their researches in STEM, getting those engineering base with the upgrades. So both players just gonna go ahead and start just gonna macro up, possibly establish that third CC very soon, and just go for a macro game from here on out.
Indeed, they will. BYUN is actually electing to run home with the tanks and Marines. Only the Hellion, the 2 Reapers, and the Cyclone has stayed. He did lose one of those Hellions to that high ground siege tank fire back in this little kerfuffle over here. As BYUN continues to produce Marines and tanks. His first Raven has made it out. The interference matrix, once he gets 150 energy on the Raven, he is going to be able to, deny at least 2 tanks from doing anything at all. But BYUN taking a little bit of damage with the double siege tank siege. Picks an SCV, now 2. Pretty nice. As a Stimpack now finishing for Time.
And already BYUN is looking to try to put on some pressure here at the third. Stim is about to be done here for BYUN. So you should commence the attack once that is done. Probably want to go ahead and start sieging up here on the left side. There's not really much to defend. There are actually 4 tanks here for Time. And actually, where is the Raven from Time? Does he have one?
No, Time does not. No, Time does have a Raven. It is somewhere not here. There it is. It's in the back, actually. As BYUN's Raven is going to walk up here. Does not drop it on the Raven itself. Oh, they're just dropping turrets, actually. No interference matrix going down. As Time is just going to actually just stampede on through all of BYUN's forces with this Marine Ball. One of the medevacs was what got interference matrixed. So, couldn't really heal or anything of that nature. As now it looks like Time is going to start pushing across the map with infantry weapons level 1 finishing here in 8 seconds. Time with a very powerful push. BYUN about to drop 16 Marines out into the natural base of Time here. Does not look like he saw that when he was moving out. Sensor tower gets found with an SCV next to it. Rip the SCV. He's no longer with us, and BYUN immediately lifts off and starts running. BYUN is in a great position right now with the siege, though, as Time is unsieging and is just going to load up and drop into the main with these medevacs.
Yeah, at the same time, the 2 medevacs are dropping into the natural uptime as well. So both players, oh man, combat shield just got taken out by Time here. So unfortunately, those Marines of BYUN are going to be a bit weaker, and both players are kind of trading as they're putting on some hurt on both each other's bases.
Time actually loses his natural base. It does get shot down by these Marines. As 1-1 now finishing for BYUN. As Time did have it a little bit before, BYUN now maybe wants to try to take this, as he does lose his main.
BYUN keeping pressure here on the third will force the evacuation and lift up, but I don't know. All in all, it seems like kind of both players trade out evenly. I mean, the supply says it's pretty even.
Yeah. They're both on the same amount of workers almost. There's only like 1 or 2 differences. So Time's now just beginning to ferry the rest of his units from the low ground into the main base of BYUN here, as he is just going to look to put on the killing blow in this best of 3 game 1.
Yeah, the only difference is that BYUN is mining off of 2 bases while Time is mining off of 1.
He actually loses that tank for free because of the one behind the factory. It finally does go down. There's a Liberator now for BYUN, giving him a little bit more room to move here. This one tank shelling the factory, as on the other side of the map, 30 SCVs have gone down. BYUN is finally ahead in workers by an absolute ton. He's just going to load up into the medevacs and just go back down as the CC is building. There's a tank. BYUN might drop on that tank, but no, he drops into the back of the natural. Time on the other side of the map denies combat shields yet again, as BYUN is producing double medevacs here.
Yeah, BYUN looks like he's kind of out microing or out APMing timer here. It seems like he's kind of. I know that's not a word, APMing. but
APMing. Yeah. Ooh, he snipes the medevac. It's not the one with anything in it, though. As both
yeah,
players, after dealing, ridiculous amounts of damage, are going to run home. BYUN is up 24 workers right now, as well as 8 supply. His army is a little bit smaller than Times, but I'm not sure who has this right now. Looks like it's just going to go back into macro.
yeah, seems like it. By the way, thank you, Pili for the raid of 35. I appreciate it.
Billy!
Anyhow, you are witnessing a kind of really back and forth game here by BYUN and Time. Seems like BYUN has kind of stabilized a bit more. It looks like Time has yet to establish I guess another mining base. I think he
Oh my
should be
god.
looking off.
The Doom drop from Time. He loads everything into the
Oh.
medevacs. He's just running for the main. If BYUN can get one, if BYUN gets that outer siege tank down, the outer medevac down. It's gonna be good, but he does not. And all the tanks are siege. Liberators are going into siege mode as well. It gets taken down almost immediately here, as BYUN is now going to start getting shelled here. BYUN's 2 tanks sieging on the low ground here. BYUN is trying his best, and it looks like he forces Time up here. And BYUN now going to drop his Marines on top of the tanks, forcing them to fire on their own guys. Time does unsiege very quickly.
Yeah, I love that maneuver by Time. He kind of brings it back here. Kind of I guess the siege tanks of BYUN were at the, I guess the 12 o'clock base instead. So a little bit of a slow response.
Oh
but,
my god.
I mean,
third time combat shields gets denied.
Ah, man. That's like the curse of the combat shield.
Oh, Time. This is dirty, man. BYUN is bringing everything back home here, as he is going to be forced to fight up his own main base ramp. Siege tank in a great position for Time, but BYUN's just running up the ramp head first, and it looks like it almost worked. But the siege tank does go down here. BYUN falling to 50 supply, and it looks like Time should be able to clean this up if BYUN does not. Yeah, GG. Time takes the first game.
That was such an unfortunate situation because BYUN was actually pretty okay even after losing all those SCVs, after losing the main base. He was still pretty much even in supply, but going up that ramp with that siege tank there, just not the way to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, BYUN just kind of ran headfirst into his own choke point, basically. Getting forced out and had to bring everything from home. Unfortunate.
All right, looks like the second map will be on Pillars of Gold here.
Indeed. Let me just look at one thing real quick. There we go. I think the hit bar color should be changed around now. I don't know what was wrong with them. Is Dark not here? What? Dark? Dark, please show up.
Don't worry, he's just hiding in the dark.
Oh my god. All the puns! Oh, jeez. Game 2 is on Pillars of Gold. Last call is going out right now. Looks like we're just going to, oh. Is Dark vs. Patience veto going? Thought we were holding the qualifiers, guys.
All right, so this is kind of BYUN's last chance to get into the main event. He's down 0-1. He needs to win the next 2 to advance. But Time, he is sitting at 1-0. So if he wins this next game, he's gonna be pretty much qualified here.
Yeah. BYUN is going to fight, basically. He's got to fight back and try to take this. I've just been informed that Patience in Dark is not being held, so we will let you guys know the result of that once we find out ourselves, once the game is played. But for now, Time and BYUN, Game 2, Pillars of Gold.
Someone in the chat asking, is Snoopy Singaporean or Malaysian? I am American. So, Oh, it looks like Sushi answered that. So thank you. All right, so here we go. Game number 2 on Pillars of Gold.
Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Pillars of Gold, the blue Terran. He is BYUN.
And here at the top right side is the red Terran player representing Kaizi Gaming. It is time.
Time taking the first game after BYUN did a bit of a interesting opener with that double gas 3 Reaper 2 Hellion push. As yeah, in chat they are saying BYUN did get a wrist injury in GSL, as you know, StarCraft players are a bit more at risk for those kinds of injuries as opposed to other games. But you know, he's still here, he's still trying, and he can still make it.
Yeah, remember guys, he just came back from the military and started playing in September. So about, 2-3 months ago. And
Yeah.
he's been playing a lot of SC2 tournaments and events. And you know what? I personally, and I feel like a lot of people are as well, a little bit kind of worried about the health of BYUN with that risk, because it's been a kind of a problem dating back years and years ago. So we really hope that that's not gonna that wrist injury doesn't cost him a lot of events such as this.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll be able to manage. Some people are actually wondering, like, maybe it's better for BYUN to just kind of take a break here and not play, just kind of recover a bit.
I mean, that could do it, but at that point, you know, he's kind of, at that point, I don't know. I feel like if you're one of these guys, it's like you just kind of go, and one day you're gonna stop, but until that day, you just go, and you only go.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like the the pregnant woman that's working, but you gotta question yourself whether to continue working or whether to take a break for the pregnancy. And then we see, of course, a lot of pregnant women out there still working their way, and it looks like BYUN is still working his way through this injury as he continues to compete in tournaments.
Yeah. He also apparently was practicing for 3 hours, and somebody wants to donate a wrist. Okay, Snoopy, you want to give him the wrist?
I'm not sure how that works, but okay, sure, why not?
I don't know, man. Apparently it does, though. Let's see.
Hey, what do you want for Christmas? I want a new risk. Can you give it to me?
Yeah, sure. Get the hacksaw. Oh boy. Well, both players, BYUN again going for this, I think he's on, yeah, he's going for the 3 Reaper opener, which seems to favor quite a bit, as, you know, it's going to be the same basic push, I think. It's only going to be 1 Hellion, though, unless he waits for the one that just came out, which he probably will, as it's making its way across the map. So, the same push from game 1, it is going to come, and hit time when he does have the bunker this time, and right now time does have basically the same units he had in game 1 against this. BYUN trying to get up, and yeah.
Oh no! Oh wow.
Ooh. Okay, oh that's just unfortunate. He doesn't even pick that one SCV with 2 health. Very unfortunate indeed. BYUN just gonna run home.
Yeah. So I think the biggest question for this game here, for me at the very least, is BYUN be able to get that combat shield researched? Yeah. That last game, it's like it was never.
Banshees. He's building a Banshee right now.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Doesn't look like he's gonna get Cloak here, so looks like he's not as committed.
Oh. Okay, well, Time, on the other hand, does have 6 Aliens and a Reaper, along with a Raven on his side. Cyclone, Marine, Reaper, Hellion, Banshee, though, for BYUN, as we get into the real funky unit comps in early game TVT.
Yeah, TVT is very weird in that way.
It's a screwy matchup.
Yeah.
He's also starting to produce a tank and his own Raven, along with more Marines that are being added on right now. Well, Banshee is going to hop into the back right now. I can set up a doctor, no problem. Okay, Snoopy, we'll go for the wrist transplant.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
Perfect, I'll see you there. BYUN in the main base now sniping. 2 SCVs, almost 3, now 4. Cyclone is going to lock on though, and it looks like it is going to go down, but before that, BYUN does pick 6 workers at a time. Very good, especially for a non-cloaked Banshee.
Yeah, for sure. And now he kind of forces time all the way down to 36 workers compared to the 43 of his. And yeah, he's starting to get that third CC as well as time. But time is working behind here, a little bit behind in terms of the economy.
Yeah, if we look at the income tab right now, it is 2,000 minerals and 500 gas for BYUN, and time's actually just down about 200 minerals at most given times, even though it does flip around quite a lot. Time actually just skirting around. Okay, chat, okay. Alpha X GSL caster when? Maybe later. We'll talk about it later. Time did skirt around BYUN's army here on the map, as BYUN does not say this, but at home he does have Marines and tanks. The tanks are not siege though, but the Hellions and Cyclones are going to see this. Oh, BYUN now moving out. He does see this. Tanks are not sieging as the Cyclone does lock onto the Raven.
Can he get a sandwich here? That would be pretty sick. Oh no!
Oh, oh no! Wait a minute, BYUN, almost. Wait, is Time gonna let it happen? He locks onto Time's Raven and some of the Vikings. There's so many Vikings right now for Time though. What is that? 4 Vikings? That's 3 Vikings. Okay, close. So 3 Vikings with 2 more on the way. And well, Time's army again is a little bit bigger than BYUN's, and by a little bit I mean quite a decent amount. About 17 supply bigger right now, and I'm not sure if BYUN's going to be able to hold this push. He does have Marine tank, but right now it is 3 tanks versus 3. The Ravens are going to have to do a lot of point defense turrets being dropped here as Time is going to continue to fight through. BYUN trying to push through. Time ending up getting through though. The tanks are not sieged yet on the high ground of the ramp from BYUN. 2 are still unsieged. The SCVs are being pulled as the 3 tanks siege from Time here. Scan goes down to pop, see if there's anything invisible. All the SCVs almost from BYUN have gone down as the final tank drops from BYUN. And, well, I mean, he holds this with a Viking and all the SCVs. He's only down about 6 workers after that, but oh my god, BYUN. What a great hold right there.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty much GG at that point, but he manages to hold on. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still behind a bit, but I mean, that could have gone a lot worse than it looked like initially.
It really looked like BYUN might have been down and out there, but at the last second he holds. Right now, both players do have a third base built. BYUN's just kind of sitting there, realizing he can't really expand right now. I mean, he does have the extra workers. He does finally lift up that orbital, is going to the same locations as Time's orbital across map. BYUN now is loading up or into the medevacs here, as he's going to go across the map with a tank and about 12 Marines, and he's going to try to go for a drop and do as much damage as he possibly can. Twitch chat's making me laugh too much tonight. 1-1 also going to finish for BYUN. He's going to get combat shields, perhaps. I'm not sure anymore because it's been denied 3 times.
Yeah, that is the magic question here. But unfortunately here for BYUN, his double medevac here on the left side does get spotted by the Marine. So that plan has to be crossed out. And BYUN is trying to find the opening somehow, but it looks like Time has got his defense up. He's got turrets on the way here on the right side. He's flying his Vikings here on the left side. So Time is kind of on a defensive stance here. Oh, actually, that might be a nice catch.
Oh, great catch there on the full medevac by BYUN. He's now going to stim. He stims with the first pack of Marines, as he's just going to try to fight up onto this naturally. He's going to check over here, see if there's a base over here, but there is not. And, well, BYUN going to try to fight this. Oh, the Vikings. How many Vikings is that? That is 6 Vikings. They do indeed one-shot a medevac. Poor medevac's not doing very good against Vikings, but here we go. 2 more. BYUN, you need to siege your tanks. Okay, 1 does siege, as BYUN is going to stem up into this. He is going to fight on almost every front. It's only 2, but still. Oh, he clears out one front, and the second front clears out as well. BYUN is running as fast as he can into all of these, into the SCVs. He's just picking almost everything. There are no siege tanks or anything here. He's just going to start targeting down the refinery and the supply depot. More stuff is rallying across the map for BYUN. He does have combat shields. 2-2 is on the way. Liberators are in production, but right now, Time is in a little bit of a bind right now. Forced to pick up, and he does lose his natural base just like last game. Time is also supply blocked right now, so nothing more except for these units is going to come out. It should even up his army supply at least a little bit and make it a little bit more favorable. He does have a siege tank on the high ground that is going to start shelling some of these Marines, as BYUN is just going to try and go for it. Well, here we go. Another high ground siege tank doing a little bit of damage to those Marines. 4 tanks right now for BYUN. 2 in the back in case he has to back up. Time is going to try to push into this right now. He's just getting absolutely destroyed by these siege tank shots. Vikings come overhead. They aren't going to do much. He needs to land those on top of the siege tanks if he wants to do anything with them. BYUN running up onto this third base and taking out this siege tank as well. Another one fine there by the orbital. It goes down as well. Time fighting this with everything he has, and it looks like he's going to fall. GG is called. BYUN brings it back to force the game 3.
Wow, man. I thought BYUN was looking in a bad shape, but somehow, some way, he just outmaneuvers Time there, and he does manage to pull the rabbit out of the hat.
Wrists be damned. BYUN is going to just fight like there's no tomorrow, because if he doesn't make this, there might not be a tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. So it all comes down to this their game. Whoever wins this next game will qualify for the main event. It's either going to be Time or it's going to be BYUN. Guys, spam in the chat who you got, who you're rooting for, who you want to come out as the winner.
Oh, I think they are spamming it already. We're talking about wrist transplants and everything. We know. We know who it is. We all want BYUN.
Who knows? There might be some Time fans out there. Who knows?
Very possible. Well, there are 140 people watching right now. Game 3 of BYUN and Time is on Death Aura. A little bit of a weirder map with the acceleration zones. I don't know. What are your thoughts on those, Snoopy?
You know, I like it. I mean, you know, there are some maps that you want to kind of add in some flavor to because, you know, as the season progresses, you want to kind of change the map ladder pool. You know, after time, pun intended again, once again. But
King of Puns, Snoopy over here.
If you ask anyone, the acceleration zones are way better than deceleration zones. Those are usually the maps that people downvote the most or vetoes the most. Is the ones that has those zones that slows you down instead of speed things up. Now the thing about this is that there's not a lot of engagements on Death Aura that kind of revolves around that area. People usually kind of disengage the battle before it gets too crazy.
Wait a minute.
So,
Snoopy.
Oh, here we go.
There's an early SCV. Just kind of walked right off the mineral line saying, okay, guys, I got to go do something real quick. I'll be back maybe. Who knows?
Maybe he needs to take a pee break here in the bushes.
Oh, no. BYUN, are you really going to do this? BYUN's going to try it. I think he's actually going to try it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
I mean, this is the last game. Might as well YOLO it.
Let's go, BYUN. Proxy everything. It's time to show him. Oh my god. It is going to be the Proxy Rax. Looks like it's only 1 though instead of 2. I don't see a second SCV coming across the map for either player. Time at home is taking double refinery right now. Little bit of a bad thing for him to be doing right now. Oh no. Do not take this low-ground CC. Okay, good. Okay, so BYUN's proxy barracks is going to finish up before Time gets there and sees that there is absolutely nothing sitting here except for another double refinery for BYUN.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. I think this is like the first time we've gotten an SCV scout.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Tech Lab. Okay, so... Okay, Twitch chat, maybe. We'll talk about that later, too. And, well, both players going for the orbital command as BYUN does finish his Tech Lab Marauders and Concussive Shells. It is the Concussive Shell Marauder push here for him. As, well, here we go. We did see this once yesterday. I forget who it was out of. It might have been out of Cure or Bunny. I think it was Bunny, not BYUN. Bunny. And Time is fully walled now. He knows something is up. He is throwing down his factory. But, you know, the first Marauder is out already. The second one on its way. Concussive Shell's already about to finish.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good mind game because BYUN has been historically known for his Reaper control. And so Time is probably wondering if this is a proxy Reaper. He's got his, you know, his Reapers and the Marine here at the top, throwing down the bunker.
Oh, no.
But
so
yeah,
it's like 2 Marauders, and the barracks is now flying in towards Time's base. Okay. Well, this is going to only produce Marines from now on. As BYUN is going to start fighting up Time's ramp. There is a Reaper out now with a Hellion out of this factory. Time currently only producing nothing really. He's producing SCVs, but nothing else. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I think he's actually just gonna use the barracks for high ground vision. He's not even gonna land it. Double concussive shell Marauders are gonna have to fight against the Cyclone. But again, BYUN's Cyclone is just a little bit faster than Time's. The first supply depot does go down, supply blocking Time, as he has very limited economy right now. He's only on 14 mineral mining workers. He does have 2 on one gas and 3 on the other, as he's gonna take out the other supply depot. Already, you know, doing a little bit of annoyance to Time already. Looks like he's just gonna go home after this, though. He's already done enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's supply blocked Time. He's forced to cancel on the CC. His CC is actually quicker.
Oh, no.
And I think his
the SCV gets found by the Cyclone.
Poor SCV.
Well, BYUN is now building his natural on the high ground, so he's also going to have that before Time, as his barracks is now getting shot out of the sky by a Marine and a Cyclone.
Oh, but those Marauders might come here to save it. Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Time is going to go ahead and just back out here.
I think BYUN might actually continue to push this with the Cyclone and the 2 Marauders. If he does that, it's going to do they can definitely beat that that combo as long as the Cyclone goes down first. But on the other hand, BYUN is just going to choose to play it safe and run home. No one wanting to risk it all like that anymore in game 3s.
Yeah, but you know what? BYUN with that proxy does set himself pretty nicely. He's got a nice at 5 worker count lead, as well as a quicker CC here at the natural. So all in all, actually going for a really quick dirt as well. Wow.
Yeah, BYUN is being very, very aggressive right now. He's going very, very greedy. As you know, 2 Cyclones and 2 Marauders are enough to hold this, along with a Raven now in a siege tank making his way. Oh, BYUN actually going for a second Raven too. Interesting. Very interesting TVT builds.
Well, what turned out to be a crazy chaotic start has finally normalized and stabilized for both players. Both players just going to go ahead and macro here. We do see that the reactor will finally come on the racks here, but he's going to have to start throwing down the tech lab on one of the barracks because, you know, he want to start researching those stim, that combat shield, and everything in between. So
where is the second barracks? Oh, there it is. I see it. Oh, third one actually going down as a Reaper from Time is going to make it in. He realizes he's being chased by Cyclones, and oh, there's a siege tank on the low ground. Another one pops out as well, as Time's Reaper finally dies to a lock-on Cyclone.
Yeah, but does get nice scouting information here.
I think he saw everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
He did. He literally saw everything.
Yeah.
Well, double eBay being thrown down in the back of BYUN's natural here, as the Marauders start targeting down those unbuildable plates. Time, on the other hand, is moving across the map with some Marines, a tank, 2 Cyclones, and a Reaper, and 2 Ravens as well. They are going to find and destroy this tech lab that gave him so much grief in the early 2 minutes of the game. As Time's going to look to push across the map here and see, we do see BYUN's third base is landing here in the triangular pattern, where Times is going to also be landing just about the same time. So even though we had that interesting proxy racks to do as much damage as possible from BYUN, we do see this transitioning into a more, you know, normal, standard-ish TVT.
Oh yeah, but BYUN's gonna have to go ahead and start sieging up because this attack is about to hit at the front door here.
Yep, well, his army is in position. The siege tanks are not sieged. It looks like, yeah, he's just going to have to lift that orbital command. It does start to burn here in just a second, and it is going to burn.
Oh my god, repair, repair, repair!
Come on, BYUN! So.
Almost gave me a heart attack right there.
Yeah, he is repairing. Okay, good. Well, on the high ground, 2 interference matrices on the 2 top ground cyclones. Very good. The Marines trying to do this, but 2 siege tanks looking up with high ground vision is not very good for BYUN here. More tanks are coming in. 1 tank caught with its pants down, not sieged at all. BYUN is just running on top of this army of time. He stims. He's going to get on top of it. The tanks don't know where to fire for time. BYUN's tanks are not sieged, though, but there's only 1 tank left. The Reaper grenade bops the tank up in the air. 10 SCVs have gone down for BYUN so far, but he barely holds this push.
Yeah, luckily for him, he was ahead by 10 workers before that attack. So just all that happens was that it just evened up the worker count. But the difference is BYUN traded much better. Now he's ahead by pretty much more than half of army supply.
Yeah, BYUN's army supply is absolutely destroying. Times 3 tanks to 1 and 18 Marines to 6 with 4 Vikings. Well, both players going in slightly different directions. BYUN is probably going to get combat shields this game unless time goes for a drop. But right now, BYUN walking across the map with his superior army, knowing that this is his chance to make as much damage as he can. His 1-1 did just finish. Time is not done. He's not even halfway there yet. So the Marines are just going to run into tank sieges, picking off as many Marines as he can. 4 SCVs have gone down so far. He's just starting to pick off almost everything as the tanks are going to start fighting here. 1 tank on the high ground for time, trying its best to hold on. Oh, nice repair though, right from time, picking up those Marines. Ooh, one of those medevacs with about 5 Marines does go down as the other one does unload. Vikings, everyone, just destructive to medevacs.
Yeah, the one thing that time does have an advantage is the air superiority, and the Vikings will land.
The high ground tank from time is down. The high ground tank is down, and BYUN is actually forced to run.
Yeah, but time does finally cleans it up, and he can start mining off at that second CC in the natural area.
Yep.
But still, BYUN is ahead. The army supply. He does got the 1-1, like you said, a lot earlier. He's starting up plus 2-2.
He actually finished combat shields, and it was not denied this game.
Woohoo!
It seems that whenever BYUN has combat shields, he just seems to win. He's on his 4th base as well. He's just put that down over in somewhat of a line on the right side of his natural. 1 Marine kind of gets picked off here as the tank jumps into the medevac, and there are tanks there. 1 does siege up for BYUN as, well, that's not a very good position, but the Marines from BYUN are trying to get on top of this, trying to stim. They cannot heal a lot because the medevacs are just getting obliterated by Vikings. 2 of them do land, though. Viking is going to get obliterated. Tank is going to start doing as much as it can, and again, BYUN is forced to run home.
Oh man, I think BYUN overextended just a tad right there. I don't think he had the numbers. I guess the advantage in the numbers in the army. Now he's going to go ahead and start attempting kind of a 4 medevac drop here. Let's see how this does.
Yeah, he's also getting +1 vehicle weapons. Combat shield for time now just finishing. His 2-2 has started, and he's a little bit behind right now, but the Vikings are helping a ton against these medevacs. I do not think they're in position for this drop. They are actually. The Vikings are in position. The tanks do drop out. So do the Marines. 1 medevac does go down. And, well, it looks like BYUN is going to start ripping Time's base apart. Oh, the starport with a reactor is going to get destroyed. BYUN, Time actually is going to try to drop a tank out here. It's going to get slaughtered almost immediately. The Marines trying to fight in against these tanks here. BYUN's Marines trying as 2-2 is about to finish for him. He is forced to load into a medevac that does get shot down. Oh my god, back and forth TVT.
That was horrible for BYUN. Not only did he not get that engineering bay that was researching the +2 weapons, but he lost all his army force, wasn't able to fly out with any army. And now, I mean, I guess BYUN's still ahead in the army supply, but it could have been much bigger.
Yeah, excuse me, voice crack. Yeah, definitely. Planetary now going down for BYUN, and 3-3 is on the way. BYUN just continuing to keep on this constant pressure. 2-2 Baya with vehicle weapons 1 is going to do a lot here against just plain old 1-1. 2-2 for time again, about halfway done. His vehicle weapons have just started, and fighting up this ramp is going to be a bit hard. There are 2 siege tanks right now. But BYUN is going to start sieging up his tanks here as BYUN is going to stim forward onto this tank. The first one is about to go down. He's also having to fight Marines with this while taking a siege tank shot. If he gets onto the second siege tank, it's going to be pretty good for him. There's a third one over here. That one also goes down to stim Marines. BYUN again forced to lift up into these medevacs and run home, baiting some of the Marines into that those shots. Well, time does fall below 100 supply. His weapons 2 is about to finish. Armor 2 finishing in 14 seconds as well. And this is going a little bit better for time now. BYUN actually sniping a refiner with a siege tank. And he's continuing to stream units across the map. He's going to break time eventually with this push. As 3-3 halfway done for BYUN, and Vehicle Weapons 2 has started.
Yeah, not only that, the attack actually forced the cancel of the 4th CC that was building there. So now, BYUN is going to be on 4 bases against 3 for quite some time.
Indeed. Again, though, well, here we go. 3 siege tanks with some Vikings are now dropping out. And, well, BYUN again attempting to fight this. He is up 50 supply. He's up 40 army supply. 3 tanks are in decently good positions for siege. BYUN is going to walk in here and start picking what he can as his siege tanks start picking away at the 3rd base. More units flowing across the map for BYUN as the Vikings are going to start fighting each other. BYUN is going to start trading 1 for 1 here as more siege tanks make it in. It's 5 tanks against just 2. Now it's actually 7. The other 2 have not made it across the map yet. BYUN is going to bring some of his army home as he's fighting into this time, bringing everything. And GG BYUN completes the reverse sweep and is going to qualify.